Here it says B, and both of these are B, and that means they're both drawing pencils. I think I've got a 3B here as well. This is a 3B, that one there. So all I'm saying is when you do draw, and if you've only got an HB, then that's fine. Some HBs actually are quite soft, and I don't mind using an HB for drawing, but ideally you should really start with a B, okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. And it's always important that the pencils are sharp. I don't think you can produce good drawings with a blunt pencil. So I tend to have at least 3 or 4 pencils at hand and a decent rubber to actually work with, okay? Now, I got this photograph out to show you just because it's a range of white objects, and I thought it was quite interesting. It's far, far too complex a setup for you to be considering today. So I'm hoping you've all kept it very, very simple, like the one of mine. But it is interesting as a subject. You know, this is using newspaper underneath white objects. And of course, newspaper is black and white. And the way we perceive these white shapes is really through a range of tones, going from possibly something that's verging on black to something that's obviously very strong white. The exception in there, of course, are the fruit and the glass bottle, but interesting, nice shapes that, you know, one can find or, you know, maybe possibly come across. So I always think it's worth collecting things that you're drawn to, just because if you are interested in drawing or painting, they always come in use in 2 straight lines. And I'm going to divide that in the middle and then create in total 6 boxes that are about the same size. Actually, this is quite big, so you don't need something too big because you're going to fill in these boxes and we don't want to spend the whole evening doing that. Okay. So, starting with this one at the end, I want you to use your pencil either on its side or on its end and fill it in, okay? Keep within the lines of the box, and you can work up and down like I'm doing now, or from side to side, or in a diagonal motion. But try and keep the quality of the graphite that the pencil's creating in this little square or rectangle as even as you can. If you've got a 3B, it will probably make more sense to use it at this point. So, okay, let's use the 3B if you've got one. It will make a darker, more velvety mark, or a 6B or a 5B, any of those are fine. And let's use it on its side like I'm doing and just fill in that box and get it as black as you can. Try and get rid of the sort of, try and, you know, not allow it to be grey, but go as close to black as you can make it, and you'll just have to layer it in order to do that. And also increase the pressure. Now I'm using it on the side, that way I avoid making directional lines with the pencil. If you do it on its end, you know, like you would normally for writing, it will create diagonal, or it could create lines within the actual shading. You want to avoid that. You turn your paper round so you can get at the shape or the corners easily. Do it till you actually feel that you can go no further with that tone. Okay, so that's number one. Now number two is going to be not quite as dark, so I'm still going to carry on using my 3B for the minute, and I'm just going to quickly fill in this next one, holding my pencil so that the lead is actually on the side as I'm colouring in. You do it as quickly as you can. Use your finger so you stop yourself going over the edge of the line. That's the other thing. And go back over it until it goes a bit darker. It's got to be a sort of progression from the very, very dark to something that's a bit dark, not as dark. And then go on to number three when you're ready. Less pressure. And then the last square you just leave. So the last square should be white. Also try using your pencil just on holding it like this and use it on its side. So see what sort of marks you can make by just using the pencil on its side. And then I've used the B on its side to do this kind of, you know, soft shading that you might want to put around the shape. And if you use your pencil very quickly like this, it makes a lovely even tone. Tried out using their pencil on its side, holding it like this. So I'm just going to repeat what I did. I'm just get my fingers, and instead of picking it up so it's like that where you actually have to turn your wrist, I'm just going to hold it just with my fingers. I'm gripping it like that from the top and using it on its side. Okay,